Hello, hello, hello. You're welcome to this free webinar, Becoming a Flourishing Designer by Setting Up Yourself for Success. And we'll go right into it. I'm so excited to have you watching this video, and I believe it's going to transform your life and your fashion business. So, let me give a brief introduction about myself. My name is Esther Eric Chisholm, and I have over 15 years experience in the fashion industry. And that's just to put it lightly. Actually, I've been sewing. I can't even remember when I started sewing because my mom was also a fashion designer. And as little as when I was in primary school, I was already operating a sewing machine and making little clothes here and there. And in secondary school, I was already sewing for sewing for my friends and earning money from it. And in the university days, it was already a full blown business and all. But I launched out my brand when I finished my university education. And so I would just say I have over 15 years experience in the fashion industry. I'm also a fashion business coach and consultant. So I help fashion business owners to structure their businesses in a way that it runs smoothly and the business is profitable, and in a way that it does not overwhelm them, and try to eliminate the stress in running a business. And I'm also a fashion instructor. I teach people how to sew and how to create patterns for different types of women's wear. And I run both physical and online trainings on that. And I've been a bespoke fashion designer for so many years. So I told you I already started sewing from secondary school. So over those years till after my university days, when I launched out my business officially, I've been a bespoke fashion designer. But for now, I'm on a break in that aspect. I currently am a partner and a manager at a luxury fashion brand called Sugar Exquisite Fashion, which I run with my elder sister. And I am a wife and a mom of three. I'm also a lover of Christ and a lover of gospel music. So as we go into this webinar, you will see why I added these last 2 points here. All right, so let's move ahead. My mission is to provide solutions to established and intending fashion designers that helps them thrive and enjoy a profitable fashion business without sacrificing their health, family, or personal interest. So over the years, I've realized that there's this um there's this issue in the fashion industry that most fashion business owners feel like they either have a fulfilling life or a profitable business. So they run a business where they are always so overwhelming, and they have to do everything. They're so engrossed in the business that they neglect other aspects of their life that will make them have fulfillment. So my own mission is to make sure that the fashion business owner is thriving in all the areas of your life and also running a profitable business. So it's a win win. You don't have to sacrifice one for the other. You can actually have them both. Now, this webinar is divided into two different parts, and I'll be taking the first part, which is becoming a flourishing designer. To become a flourishing designer, you have to build a business that supports your life and not the other way around. Now, to become a flourishing designer, you have to be able to balance both your life and also the business in a way that one does not suffer continuously for the other. So you have to build a business that supports your life. The purpose of your business is to make your life better, not to overwhelm you or to just be the only thing that is going on in your life. So it should not be the other round, that your life is supporting the business, which most fashion designers are struggling with, because you just find out the business has a way of just overwhelming you, or taking everything, your time, your resources and all, and you just find yourself engrossed in it, that that's the only thing you do, that's the only thing you think about. You barely have time for other areas of your life. Now you have to realize that for you to live a fulfilling life as a fashion designer, you have to your business has to support your life and not the other way around. And that's what we'll be learning in this webinar. So go ahead, I will show you 8 areas of your life that you need to pay attention to, because for you to have an overall fulfilling life, you have to take care of the different aspects of your life. You have to make sure that you are thriving in the various aspects of your life, of which your business is just one part of it. Now, if you are just focusing only on that business, which is only one part of your life, over time you begin to feel frustrated and feel unfulfilled. And that's what I'm trying to address with this webinar. So we'll just look at the 8 different areas to pay attention to. We'll start from the physical. The physical. Now, this is about recognizing the need for physical activities, diet, sleep, and nutrition. So, as a fashion designer, you should pay attention to engaging in physical activities like exercises and all. I know you might say, "Oh, the job or my role entails that I move around and all," but you should pay attention to having intentional exercises, because there's a difference between stress and exercising. And also, you should pay attention to your diet, what you eat, how you eat, your sleep, and your nutrition. Now, it's very common in the fashion industry to deprive yourself of sleep, probably to meet up with deadlines, customer deadlines, and all. But there's a way out of this. If you set up the right systems and structures, it's going to help you manage that, so that you don't always have to. It's not something that happens every time, even though it will happen once in a while, but it's not something you should keep doing, depriving yourself of sleep continuously, because in the long run it's going to be detrimental to your health. Now, the second point is environmental. Now, you need to pay attention to occupying pleasant and stimulating environment that supports your well-being. Now, this can be both at your workplace and where you live. You should have times where you declutter your space, your workspace, your living environment, keep things arranged, keep things organized. That way, you are more relaxed, because when you are in a place filled with clutter, you just automatically have you are just stressed mentally, because your brain is trying to process a lot of things, and you might end up maybe looking for things you can't find them. So let's pay attention to keeping our environment organized, pleasant, clean, and stimulating, because it will help even with your creativity as a fashion designer. Now, the third area is occupational stroke financial. This is where your business falls into. Now, you have to gain satisfaction from your work and your financial situation. So, your business has to be structured in a way that it does not continuously overwhelm you, and it is profitable. Your pricing has to be right. Your business has to be profitable. And also, you have to pay attention to your personal finance. You have to separate your business funds from your own personal funds. Also, pay attention to savings, investments, and all that. That aspect of your life is also very important. Now, the fourth point is social. You should have a sense of belonging and well-developed support system. It's it's um it's it's a something common for fashion designers to always kind of skip events and not attend events because they are caught up with so many work, and they end up making their own outfits last minute, and they can't meet up, and they're just stressed, just tired. The little time they have, they just want to be at home and sleep. But you can't you can't have a fulfilling life like that, because you need to the human being was designed to create, to interact with people. The human being was designed to mingle with people, and so you need to connect with people, join communities, be social, both offline and online. But stating that you should pay attention to online interactions, because most of us just hide behind the online interaction. Yes, it's good, it's fine, it also helps, but create time to go out, mix up with people, have a sense of belonging, join communities, and develop a support system in different areas of your life, both in your business, in your family life, in your personal life, just like that. It will really help to improve your overall well being. Now, the next point is spiritual. Spiritual. You have to expand your sense of purpose and meaning in life beyond your business. You have to have an anchor to your life that is beyond what you can see, because in this world there are a lot of challenges and chaos, and the only way you can have peace is to have that sense of purpose or sense of meaning in your life. It's if everything you do is just about your business, you'll be missing out on a lot. And believe me, there are things or there are situations you find yourself in life that your business or the money you are making from it cannot solve it. So you have to create time for to develop your spiritual life, whether you're a Christian or whatever religion you belong to. But it's very critical that you nurture your spiritual life. Now the next point is emotional. Coping effectively with life and creating satisfying relationships. You have to pay attention to your emotional well-being, because how you feel affects how you show up, both in life and in your business. Now you have to be intentional about creating good relationships that boost your confidence and just makes you want to get more out of life. You have to be intentional about how you cope with life's challenges. You have to be emotionally intelligent. You have to know how to deal with your clients, how to deal with your staff. You just need to be able to manage your emotions, because in your fashion business, you have to deal with a lot of people, clients, staff, vendors, suppliers, dispatch riders. Sometimes it can get frustrating, and you just have to know how to manage your own emotions so that you don't start absorbing negative energy that will begin to affect you negatively. Now, the next point is intellectual. Recognizing creative abilities and finding ways to expand your knowledge and your skills. You have to create time, you have to pay attention to this aspect of your life, because if you are not growing, uh, it's a challenge, especially in this fast-paced world. You have to keep growing, you have to keep learning new things, you have to keep expanding your knowledge and your skills. Even in your fashion business, things are changing rapidly, so you have to keep getting more knowledge and trying to improve your skills, and also get knowledge outside your fashion business. You have to just generally keep finding ways to expand your knowledge and your skills, because as a person, you should pay attention to your personal growth, your personal development, and this is where that comes into play. Now, the last is recreational. Finding joy in other activities you love, like your hobbies, other activities like singing, swimming, dancing. There are other things that you love to do as a person. You're not your whole life is not just defined by your fashion business. So there are other things you love. You might have to sit down and think, what are the other things I love doing? Is it reading? Is it traveling? Is it dancing? Is it singing? You have to create time for those things. For me personally, one thing I love is to go to the beach. So sometimes I just clear my schedule for a Monday and I go to the beach and I just walk, go to the water, sit down, admire the nature and get inspiration. And it's always so relaxing for me. So you need to find out what are the things you love to do. I also love to sing. I also love to dance. So I love to listen to music and sing. So those are things that I do that I love to do. So you should pay attention to that part of your life because all these areas are going to affect your overall well-being and in turn affect how you show up for your business and the success of your business. Now we'll be entering into the second part of this webinar, which is setting up yourself for success. To set up yourself for success, it means to intentionally put things in place to ensure that you succeed. It means you are not just leaving things to chance, you are intentionally putting the things in place that will make sure that you succeed. So when you hear sometimes that people, when you hear somebody is set up, it means that things were arranged either for the success or for the failure. Now you have to set up yourself for success. If you do not do this, you are unconsciously or intentionally setting up yourself for failure. Now, the funny thing about this is whether you set up yourself for success or not, there's already a setup. Whether you are aware or not, there's already a setup. Now, it's better for you to now intentionally set up yourself for success rather than allowing the unconscious setup to lead you to failure, which is what we do not want. Now, we'll move on. There are several ways to set up yourself for success as a fashion designer, but for the purpose of this webinar, we'll focus on habits and routines. And this picture right here says, change your habits, change your lives. Now, it means that as little as habits and routine are, they are very instrumental to your overall success as a person and as a fashion business owner. And I'll be showing you how. So here is habits versus routine. Let's see the differences and what they mean. Habit is a regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. It is automatic and it is unconscious. So um there are habits that you have that are unconscious. You do them unconsciously. You don't even pay attention. For like people that bite their nails, they don't really pay attention to it. They just find themselves doing it. So these are things that you have a regular tendency to do and practice, and it is usually hard to give up. While routine is a series of behaviors frequently repeated, it is conscious and intentionally repetitive. Now, routines is something, they are a group of habits that you have put together that you do frequently. But it is conscious because you are the one who grouped those activities or those behaviors, those habits together and choose to do it. So it's intentional. But habits are not intentional. They are automatic, they are cautious, they are unconscious. And in the course of growing up, there are some habits that you might have picked up which are not serving you now. They are affecting you negatively, but you just find out that you keep doing them repeatedly and you just keep going round in circles and not achieving what you want. Now, the goal is to break bad habits, build good habits, and then use them to create routines that guarantees your success both in your life and in your business. You have to now be intentional to sit down and track, okay, what are the habits that I do? Think about it. What habits do I engage in? Are they serving me? Are they good? Are they bad? If I continue with this habit, are they going to lead me to the vision I have for my life and for my business. So um these are things you should begin to ask yourself. These are questions you should begin to ask yourself to actually get the answers that you need. The secret to permanently breaking any bad habit is to love something greater than the habit. Now, the secret for you to break any habit is to create a vision or visualize the kind of life that you want and love that life better than this bad habit. For instance, let's say you want to have a business that just a fashion business that is world class, that things just run smoothly. You don't have to be so engrossed in it. You are also able to enjoy other areas of your life now. And you have a habit of maybe waking up late, waking up by 9 a.m. And because of that, you go to work late and you just run through. And because of that, you close late and you eat late. And the cycle just keeps continuing like that. You have to create a vision of the kind of life you want. Now, the bad habit you want to deal with here is waking up late. So you have to create that vision. Okay, what if I change this habit? I try to wake up maybe an hour earlier for a start, and begin to work on it. So that vision of that better life, or that life that you love, that you want to have, will be like a motivation for you to break the current bad habits and cultivate the new one. So let's see more things about habits. Here are some bad habits that can affect your life negatively. As these are general habits, but I just picked the ones that affect us as fashion designers. Number one is not managing your sleep. Not managing your sleep. Now, as a fashion designer, like we said earlier, there are times you have to meet up with deadlines and all, but it shouldn't be something that is consistent. It shouldn't be something that you do every time, depriving yourself of sleep. You should be able to manage your sleep and manage your schedule. And even though there are changes, it should not be regular, just once in a while. But if you continuously mismanage your sleep, it's going to affect your life negatively. It even affects your productivity as a person. So managing your sleep, it's very critical. Now, the next one is not exercising well. Now, this is one table I would like to break, because when you talk about exercise to most fashion designers, they will tell you, but I'm exercising. I walk from the table to the machine. I'm pedaling the machine. That's exercise. No, that's not exercise. Yes, you are moving your body and all, but sometimes it's not something you are doing. You are doing at your own will. It's stressful. It's stressful. You do it for long hours, and that's not exercise. You should create time where you actually exercise, do proper exercises that will benefit you, not just hiding under, oh, I'm busy, I'm working, I'm I'm pedaling the machine, I'm getting up to court, I'm going to the market to look for materials and all. So we should pay attention to that. The next is using too much technology. Now I understand the fact that as creative people, we tend to surf the net, look for current styles, look for trends, look for inspirations. But there should be a limit to this, because when you have a habit of just randomly scrolling on Instagram for 2 hours, that's getting too much. These are time you can use for other productive things. And also, you even realize that when you spend too much time on the screen, it begins to affect you mentally in some sort of way. At least it does. I actually experienced that. So we should look into this habit so that it doesn't affect us negatively. Now, the next is not eating a healthy diet. Now, because of the whole busyness of running the business, it should not be a habit whereby you consistently neglect your diet, or you just try to eat junk foods and all. You can plan these things. You can work towards planning your meals, that you don't end up eating junks, and because in the long run it's not beneficial to your body. The next point here is sitting too much. You should take breaks. I think one way to solve this is that you should take breaks during the course of the day. Sometimes, maybe if you are just starting out and maybe you don't have enough people working with you, may have to do some jobs, maybe like sewing, or even when you have people, you are sitting down sketching, run supervising and all. You should pay attention that be intentional about creating breaks during the day where you can just get up, walk around, and allow blood flow through your body so that it keeps you active and healthy. Now, the next point is not socializing. We've talked briefly on this earlier. It's a bad habit because you are not an island. You need people. You need people to live in this life. Even in your business, you need people. And so you have to create time to mix, to interact, to network with people. And the last is failing to get checkups. Now, we should not be in the habit of waiting for when we break down before we check ourselves or go to the hospital. You should make it part of your routine where you go for checkup, because that is the body that is serving you. That's the body that you are using to do all these stuffs to make money. So you should at least pay attention to it. Now, there are also habits that can destroy your happiness and hinder your success as a fashion business owner. The first set of habits we talk about, these ones just affects your life directly, but these other ones I'll be sharing with you, they affect your success and they hinder your happiness. Now, the first one is constantly comparing yourself with others. You should know that we are all on different journeys in life, and it's unfair to you to be comparing your day one to someone's day 2000. It's very unfair to you, and it actually demotivates you. It does not make you, it just pulls down your effort. It just undermines your own effort and all. So there's no point comparing yourself with others. Just consistently try to improve yourself. The only person you should compare yourself with is the person you were yesterday. So your focus should be about trying to constantly improve yourself, because especially as women, we go through different stages and seasons in our lives. There are times when when I had to slow back and take a break, or maybe just slow down in my business, because I had to take care of my children. I just put to bed. I had to take care of my baby. I have to take care of myself and all. I didn't shut down my business completely. I had people working with me, but I just slowed down what I had to do, because at that moment myself and my baby, my family was more important to me. So it's now unfair for me at that season to be comparing myself with a single lady who has all the time and has all the energy to invest in a business and all. So you see, our journeys are different. Our life journey, our business journey, they are different. So it's not wise to compare yourself with other people. Now, the next point is not appreciating what you have. This is what actually leads to comparing yourself, because when you spend time actually taking note of what you have and what you have achieved over time, you begin to develop a sense of gratitude, which is actually uplifting and motivating. So, the habit of not appreciating what you have, or always just looking at others, oh, they have everything working out for them, everything is working out smoothly, their business, even they have so many followers, they have so many clients. Actually look inwards, appreciate what you have, appreciate how far you have come, appreciate the clients you have now, appreciate the number of staff you have now. When you spend time to do that, you realize that you have a lot to be grateful for. Now, the third point is letting fear or hate control you. And that's something we should really pay attention to, because there's there's never a time you want to do something great in life that you will not have that feeling of fear. Even the greatest people, the people you see as your mentors or as your source of inspiration, people that inspire you, people that you look up to, they also feel fear. But the difference is that they go ahead in spite of the fear, they keep moving forward. Now, don't let fear stop you from anything you want to do, because if you eventually do not follow through with that, you begin to have regrets, or you will never know if it will work out or not. Let's say, for example, you've been running your business, maybe a bespoke, you've been running your bespoke business for a while, and you've just been having the ideas of, okay, I would like to maybe open a ready to wear brand. I have these ideas of, and I have this this idea to begin to create clothes for certain kind of people, maybe for women who are 9 to 5ers, who work in the corporate world, or I have this idea to start creating clothes for children and all. But you begin to think, oh, what if they don't buy? What if I don't do this? What if, whenever you have any great ideas, there are always these thoughts, these negative thoughts that come, and its purpose is to bring fear. And it's just the plan of the enemy, it's just the plan of the devil to keep you held back or keep you stuck in one position. So don't let fear control you. If you have a vision, if you have an idea, go for it. Do your research, do your planning, and go for it. The thing is, if you succeed, it's a win. And if it does not succeed, it's also a win, because you have learned how not to do it. The next time, you will not follow that route. You will do it better. So never let fear hold you back. And also, do not let hate control you. Do not let hate. And that hate can also be in the form of envy. And envy comes when you are constantly comparing yourself with others. So you see, everything is related one way or the other. Now, the next point is focusing negatively on past regrets, focusing negatively on the past, which is regrets, or on the future, which is worry. So if you begin to pay so much attention to the past, pay so much attention to the negative occurrences of the past, you just be living a life of regret. Oh, I wish I knew. I should have done this. I should have taken that shop when I saw it. I should have started this business when I did that. I should have did this. I should have. You find out that you are just wasting your time, because you can't go back to the past to correct what has happened, or change anything. And if you spend so much time in the future, oh, if I do this, what will happen? If I make this move, what will happen? You are just worrying, and it doesn't add up. It doesn't benefit you in any way. So do not focus negatively either on the past or on the future. Rather, I'll move on to the next point. Try to control what you can. Focus on the future. You have a control over what is happening right now. So do what you can to have that desired future that you want. Control what you can, which is the present. And part of controlling the present is making a decision to change your habits, to change the habits that have not been working for you, to change the habits that have been leading you to have negative results in the past. So try and control what you can, and stop trying to control what you cannot, because it's just going to lead you to unhappiness and hinder your success. There are a lot of things that we cannot control in life. A lot. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control if it's going to rain today. You cannot control how people will behave. So there are a lot of things you cannot control, but there are things that you can control. And so you focus your energy on those things you can control, and just learn to manage the other things which is out of your control. The next point is surrounding yourself with toxic people. This one is very, very important, either in your business or in your environment or even in your family. You have to be very, you have to be very intentional about the kind of people around you, because the kind of people that you allow into your space determines if you will succeed or not. There are some people who are just so pessimistic, they never see anything good. There are some people who are just so, they are envious of you. There are some people who, when you share an idea with them, they will tell you 100 reasons why it will not work. You don't need such people in your space. Now, there you need to apply wisdom in dealing with this, because sometimes, like I said, some of these kind of people might be in your family. You might be living under the same roof with such people, and you can't just outrightly cut off those relationships. But you can learn how to guard your space, guard your heart. The Bible says, guard your heart with all diligence, because out of it comes the issues of life. So you have to surround yourself, you have to be intentional about surrounding yourself with the right kind of people if you want to succeed. Now, the next point is getting caught in the blame game. And I noticed that this happens a lot, a whole lot in this generation. They always have somebody to blame. Oh, it's because my father did not do this, that's why I'm not like this. It's because my mom did this. It's because the government did this. It's because the economy did. Yes, things have been going haywire from the foundation of the world, but people have also been succeeding. When COVID-19 happened, a lot of businesses closed down, but a lot of businesses also skyrocketed their profits, like Zoom. So you need to take responsibility for the part. You need to, in every situation, what I do is to find a part I can take responsibility for. Let me give an example. For example, if someone speaks to me in a kind of way, or let me give a practical example. Let's say you have a staff, and the staff just you have deadlines to meet, and the staff did not show up to work. Now, yes, it's not my fault that this person didn't show up to work and didn't inform me. But when I look at that situation, I'll ask myself, what is my own part? What part of this whole scenario can I be responsible for? Is it that I did not put in the right policy in place to make the staff realize that if you do not show up, there's going to be a penalty for this? Or is it that I've been so lenient, or is it that I've not been implementing the right system and structure to make sure that even if a particular staff does not show up, I am not overwhelmed or stressed out. So there's always something. If you check every situation, every scenario, there's always a part that you can take responsibility for. And the truth is, when you take responsibility, it gives you some sort of power that, yes, I can do something to change this situation. But when you blame others, you are giving them the power. So you are telling your mind that, oh, it's beyond my control, so it's up to them. And you can't force anybody to do anything. It's up to them to change it, it's up to them to make it work. That's what blame game does. It's, you are just surrendering your power. So don't get caught up in that. Take responsibility and take action. Now, the next point is letting procrastination wither your ambition. This one is another thing that a lot of us struggle with, including me. I used to battle with this a lot, but I've found ways to make sure that I take action, to prompt me to take action. So don't let procrastination hinder you. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next tomorrow. Sometimes there are some opportunities you just have to take advantage of immediately to get the result that you want. Now, the last point here is being your own worst critic. Now, there's a difference between being your own worst critic and actually giving yourself honest feedback. You should also cut yourself some slack, extend grace to yourself when some things happen, when you find yourself doing some things. Just ask yourself, assess the situation. Okay, what can I do differently? Oh, I did this, I made a mistake. Or maybe you made a cloth for a client, and maybe you it didn't turn out well, and you're just like, hey, will I ever make it in this way? Will I be ever be able to just start saying negative words to yourself? No, that's not nice. You, if somebody comes to you and they're like that, you won't say such negative words to them. So extend same grace to yourself, and rather just try to see the gaps and work on ways to improve your skills or your knowledge to fill up that those gaps rather. So let's move on to routines. Like we said earlier, routines are a series of activities or behaviors that you do. So you can just stack up some habits, a series of habits, and use it to create a routine that will work for you. So let's see some things about routines. To achieve success in anything, even as a fashion designer, you have to build routines that ensure you succeed. In anything you do, you have to build routines. So, like the different areas of life that we talked about earlier, you have to build routines in these different areas of your life that we spoke about earlier. So, let's go back and continue. You already have one, whether you are aware or not. You just need to check if they are setting you up for failure or success. Now, the thing about routines is that there's already one running. Whether you are aware of it or not, you have routines that you follow. If you think critically right now, you realize that there are some certain things you do, and because you're not paying attention, you just do them, you just have them as your routine. Like for some people, they wake up in the morning and they pick up their phone and they scroll through Instagram. Oh, how many people have liked my page? Or what's happening, what's this person doing? That's a routine. That's a routine. But now you now have to check, is this routine, is this setting me up for failure or for success? If I continue with this routine, my current routine, am I going to end up being successful? That's the question which you should ask yourself. Now the next point is, if you build a routine that consists of productive actions and you stick with it, you will be amazed at the level of positive transformation you will experience over time. Now, if you now get intentional to build a routine that consists of productive actions, productive habits, and you go ahead to implement it, you will just be amazed at the level of success you begin to record, at the level of positive transformation you begin to experience both in your life and in your business. Building your routine is one thing, but implementing it is the most important. So you have to do all that is in your power to follow through, including setting alarms, rewarding or depriving yourself. Now, let me break this down. It's one thing for you to take pen and paper and write down your habits and now create your routine and say, okay, this is the routine for my physical health. This is the routine I will do in the morning. This is the routine I will do when I get to work. This is the routine I'll follow. That's one thing. But it's another thing to actually implement it. And that's where it gets hard, because the human the human body does not like change. It just like to keep doing what it has been doing before, whether it is serving you or not. It is you that have to now put that body under subjection and say, no, this current programming I have is not going to lead me to where I want. So I have to reprogram my mind, I have to reprogram my body to start following these routines, these current routines that I have. Now you have to now do all that is in your power to follow through, because we are all different. There are different ways that you can motivate yourself to do it. Now for me, I like to set alarms because they kind of help me, okay, know that this is what I need to do, because there are a lot of things going on in my life. So business wise, family wise, so sometimes it's hard to keep up by just relying on my brain. So I can, there are alarms set on my phone for different things, different activities, just to remind me to do some certain things. And also, I like to, another way that can help you is to reward yourself when you follow through with your routine. So you can say, okay, I've built this routine and I want to implement it I want this is the routine I want to start following. And maybe at the end of the week you do like a review to see, oh, okay, I was able to follow through with this. You can reward yourself. Even at the beginning when you were setting the routine, when you started it, you can say, okay, if I'm able to stay off social media, or if I'm able to stay off watching TV throughout the week so that I can have more time to focus on more productive things. Okay, by Sunday I can have 2 hours. I can watch a movie that I really love. That's one way to reward yourself. It doesn't have to be so big. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to involve money, but you can do other things. You can do other things. Okay, if I'm able to follow up this routine of, okay, my diet, I want to sorry if I'm able to follow up with this routine in my physical activity, I'll reward myself with an ice cream, or I'll take myself out to a nice place. See, so that's when you have that in mind, it kind of motivates you. And on the other hand, you can also set things to deprive yourself of when you do not follow through with your routine. So you know that, oh, I was not able to keep up with this routine this week. Oh, I was not able to stay off social media like I planned this week. So I won't be watching that nice movie. I go again the next week. It actually takes self discipline to implement these things. Another thing you can do is to have an accountability partner that you share with, that can keep you accountable, because you just have to do everything within your power to be able to implement this. That's the only way you can get result. Over time, you will find out that you begin to do this effortlessly, and that's the goal. When that new habit begins to when your new habits and routines you begin to do them without even thinking of it. You begin to do them unconsciously. That's the goal, because it means that everything has just been set up to lead you to success. So that's the goal. Here are some tips to start a new routine and stick with it. So there, I'll just share some few tips that can help you to start and stick with a new routine. The first is to decide what needs to be in your routine. So let's say you want to build a routine for how you start your day at your workplace. So you can decide, okay, when I come to the office, okay, I'll pray for 5 minutes, and then I'll have a meeting with the staff to tell them the work they should start working on for that day. And I'll have a meeting with one client. Just like that, you can decide what will be on your routine. You have to decide what needs to be on your routine. And remember that you have to create routines for different aspects of your life, both in your business and in your personal life. Another thing is to set smaller goals. This will help you to be able to stick with your routine faster, because when your goals are so large it might get overwhelming. You'll just be wondering, where do I start from? And if you are like me, that used to set to-do list, and I will just write things that will overwhelm myself, that I will end up not doing. you just have to you just have to try to break down your goals to smaller goals that are achievable, because when you're able to achieve them, there's this fulfillment you get from it. So it motivates you to want to do more. So break down that large goal into smaller goals that you can do. And now you also lay out a plan of how you intend to stick with these routines. So let's say you you want to build a routine of physical activity. You want to start exercising more. Let's say, oh, I want to start taking a walk every Friday morning by 7 a.m. That will be part of my Saturday routine. You can bring out your walkwear like Friday night and set everything up somewhere you will see it. That's like a plan to ensure yourself. The goal is to set up yourself. So putting that out is like a plan. When you wake up in the next morning, you are saying it, or like, oh, this is what I need to do. So you have to create plans on how you'll be able to successfully implement this routine. Now the next is to be consistent with time. So when you keep doing this thing consistently at the same time, it's easier for you to begin to do it effortlessly or unconsciously, because your mind is already programmed that at this certain time this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. So try to be consistent with time, not rather than, okay, on Monday I do it 7 a.m., on Tuesday I do it 9 p.m. It might get confusing. The next point is to make it fun. Now, yes, we are trying to build new habits and develop a new routine that will lead to success, but try to make it fun, because if it's too serious, too if it's too serious, too complicated, your mind will not want to do it. Your mind will not want to engage in it. So try to find how you can infuse fun to those things that will make it more appealing to you to do. Now, the next is to track your progress. It's very important to track your progress. At least you will know, okay, I'm doing well here, I'm improving by a certain percentage. Okay, I was able to do this. I was able to do this in week one. I was able to do so. It helps you to know where to work on, and how to, if there are any things that needs to be done to keep you on track, you'll be able to infuse that. And now the next point is to reward yourself, like we said earlier. When you know that there's something you get at the end, when you stick with this routine, it keeps you motivated to actually want to do it. And the last point is to keep the end goal in mind. It will keep you motivated. If you have this ideal goal, this vision of what you want, and you keep visualizing that end goal, it tends to keep you motivated to actually follow up with your routines. Now, to succeed in life and business as a fashion designer, you need to build routines into the different areas of your life. Now, like I said, you have to build routines into all the areas of your life to actually succeed as a fashion designer, and even as a person. And one of the most important routines you should build is your morning routine. Your morning routine. This can literally make or mar your day. And what you keep doing every day, days will turn to weeks, weeks will turn to months, months will turn to years, and you just find yourself moving on in circles and not making significant progress. As simple as it is, it has the power to make your day productive and fruitful. So, as simple as your morning routine is, it has the power to make your day productive or unproductive. And having this consistently will lead to a more fulfilled life and profitable business. Because when your life is fulfilling, there is no how it will not flow into your business and turn in and make your business flourish and succeed. So let's see some habits that you can add to your morning routine. Now you can just start with, if you're trying to build a routine, you can just start with maybe three or four or five. You can start with some, you can pick some from these habits to form your morning routine and start with it, and make sure that you are able to consistently do it over time. Then maybe you can now start adding to it. You can start with three, keep doing it. Believe me, you'll see the results. And over time, when you've mastered that, you can now start adding to it. Now, these are some habits that are really helpful. I've practiced all of them, and they have really been transformational for me. You can actually add it to your morning routine to guarantee that you have a successful life and business. Now, the first is meditation. It's very important when you wake up in the morning to spend some time either to pray and also to just be silent and listen. Just process your thoughts and meditate on meditate on your scriptures or meditate on anything. Just pray. You can infuse prayer here. If you're a spiritual person, you can infuse prayer and also just spend quiet time on your own. Just sit. Sometimes it's okay to just sit down and breathe in, breathe out. Check what thoughts are you having, process those thoughts and all. So meditation is one very important habit that you should include in your morning routine. And the next is affirmation. Affirmation. So you can just write out things that will boost your confidence. Write out things about yourself. I am strong. I am great. I am wonderfully made. I am beautiful. I am creative. I run a profitable business. I attract the best team. Just write out things that you can relate with, that you say to yourself. We talked about fear, dealing with fear just a moment ago. And one way to deal with those fearful thoughts is to speak words. So, affirmation is very powerful. And the next is reading. Reading. We talked about expanding your knowledge and skills. And yes, one way you can do that, spend time to read. It can be anything. You can read or read up on things related to your business or related to a particular area of your life that you need to fill up a knowledge gap in that season. Or you can even read a devotional. Just read something, and it's a very, very important morning routine you can add, morning habit rather. The next is organizing your day. So you can just spend a little time to actually plan what you want to do for that day, so that you are giving yourself direction for that day. So it doesn't take a lot. 5 minutes, you can write down what you need to do for that day. You know, yes, you don't have control over everything. Things may not go as planned, but it's easier to navigate your day when you have a plan than when you just throw yourself into the day and just follow wherever the wind of life blows you to. Now, another habit you can add to your morning routine is journaling. So you can just write down what you're thinking, write down ideas, write down your thoughts. It's one way to onboarding and also take off mental stress. The next is gratitude. You can just spend some minutes thinking about the things you are grateful for: your family, for life, for health, your business, your customers. Just think, and you realize that there are a lot of things that you'll be grateful for. And this actually helps to boost your spirit, to boost how you feel, boost your confidence. Another habit you can add is visualizing. So you can just spend time imagining and creating mental pictures of the kind of future you want. The mind is the mind does not know the difference between reality and what you are just imagining. So spend time. To dream is free. You don't have to pay. So just visualize that life, because sometimes we don't even know what it means. We don't even have a picture of what it means. We don't even know. We've not defined what success is in our life. So even when we are successful, we don't know. And success is different for everybody. For someone, success for one fashion business owner, success might be, oh, just running this brand, making 2 million naira monthly. That's what they define as success. For some other person, I want to have branches even outside the country and all over the world. And that's what, so when you have your own definition of success and you visualize it, you you find out that you begin to move towards what you want, that vision that you've created. So visualizing is a very good habit to incorporate in your morning routine. And the next is exercise. Exercise, like we said, you need to keep fit. So it's good to move your body in the mornings. It's very good. It's a good habit to include in your morning routine. And the last year is listening to motivational messages. And the good thing about this is you can actually use maybe AirPods or headphones to listen to messages while you are doing other things that doesn't really require so much attention. And you find out that you are growing. There are so many motivational messages you can listen to that will actually improve your life and your business. And now, here's an assignment I would love you to do, because it's not just enough to get all this information. You also have to sit down and put it into action. That's the only way you can get the results that you need. So I'll need you to take note of your current habits. Get a pen and a paper, take note of your current habits, Identify the bad ones to stop and the good ones to continue. Then think of new good habits to replace the bad ones. Then create routines in your personal life and business with the good habits, both the old and the new good habits that you've listed out. Create routines that you can use in your personal life and in your business. And then have a picture of the kind of life and business you desire to have and constantly keep it in mind. This will keep you motivated. Decide on rewards for yourself when you do follow through and penalties when you don't. Like I said, you have to do all that is within your power to implement this. And now be determined to implement these routines. And when you fall short, pick yourself up and continue. Don't beat yourself up too much. Over time, you begin to do this effortlessly. So when you fall short, don't just stay down like, oh, I can't do this. My life will continue to be. No. Pick yourself up and continue. Just keep going. Just keep going. And over time, you see that you begin to, it's now a part of you. You just do it effortlessly. And that's the point we want you to get to, because at that point, you have set up yourself for success. You are running automatically in the right direction without so much stress. So that's it. You will only see the transformation you desire when you decide to take action. Please take note of that. You will only see the transformation you desire when you decide to take action. So you need to take action. Just take, you can take 30 minutes to 1 hour to actually do this task. And believe me, your future will thank you for it. Your life will be, you will begin to yield results. Your life, your business will begin to yield results like you've never seen if you put this information to good use. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. Thank you for listening to this session. I hope you found this helpful. And if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section where this video is posted, or you can send me a DM on Instagram at Aesthetic Fashions. And now there are several other ways to set yourself up for success in life and business as a fashion designer. I will be sharing them in my upcoming coaching program. So, what I just shared with you is just a tip of the iceberg. I told you earlier that habits and routine is just one way to set up yourself for success as a fashion business owner. There are several other ways that you can do this, and I'll be sharing it in my upcoming group coaching program, Flourishing Fashion Designers Coaching Program. It's a 4 week group coaching program that focuses on helping fashion brand owners to thrive while running a profitable business using the right systems and structures. So, if you have noticed, my focus is on the fashion designer, the well-being of the fashion designer, and also on the business, the profitability of the business, putting in the right structures and the right systems to make sure that the business is profitable and runs smoothly. Now, the early bird registration for this program starts on the 15th and it runs till 21st of November. And the program starts on the 27th of November 2023. However, there's a pre-launch discount, a 50%, a whooping 50% pre-launch discount. And this is the lowest that this program is ever going to be, because the next time we'll be launching this, it will be way higher. So if you really love to transform your life and your business, if you really love to take your business to the next level, if you really want to eliminate the stress and the overwhelm that comes from running your fashion business and have a profitable business and a fulfilling life, you should take advantage of this pre-launch offer. Also, I will be giving the first 10 people that sign up for this program a free 30 minutes one-on-one session with me where they can discuss their own peculiar challenges and I will give them practical solutions. So to register, visit this website showing here or send a message on WhatsApp on this number. This offer ends on the 14th of November, so you should take action now. And I would love for you to be among the first 10 people so that you can actually get the extra bonus. Now, here's a sample of what I'll be sharing in the Flourishing Fashion Designers Coaching Program. This is my 5 hours framework which I have developed with my years of experience in the fashion industry and months of research. This is something that I've spent time developing. And I came up with this 5 hour framework that is guaranteed to change your life and your business. Now, the first is renew mindset. So we'll start with renewing your mindset. What are the beliefs you are currently operating with? Because there are some kind of beliefs you have or mindset you have that will actually hinder your success. So we have to renew your mindset. The next is to revise purpose. What's the purpose? What's your life purpose? What's the purpose of your business? What are your vision, your mission, your values? Because these are the things that will guide you in running your life and running your business. Now, the next is review operations. Here we are focusing on your business. Okay, what are your current operations? Do you have policies in place that runs your business? Do you have the proper structures to ensure that your staff do what they need to do when they need to do it? How do you onboard your clients and all that? So that things that we'll look into. And the fourth is reevaluate finance. So we have to look into your cash flow. How do you price your services, your goods and your services? How you manage your finance, both personally and in your business. Are you paying yourself a salary, or you just put everything together and just because if you actually want to grow, you have to pay attention to your finance. So these are the things we'll be dealing with here. And in the last part, which is my favorite, rest, recharge, and rewards. So this focuses on you as the fashion business owners and how you can actually um recharge yourself, things you can do and ways you can actually reward yourself so that you can continue showing up as that brilliant person, showing up for your business in giving your 100%. So you can take advantage of this pre-launch discount to sign up for this program today. All right, I would love to hear from you. So feel free to drop a comment where this video is posted or just send me a DM on Instagram at Aesthetic Fashions and let me know how this training has helped you. Thank you and bye bye.